Hi everyone, and welcome back. I'm sitting here on a cliff. On this beautiful day, I'm looking out over the water. The seagulls are flying across the sea. I see sky everywhere. We are pretty high up here and have the sun shining on me with all its glory. It's very beautiful. How have you been, everyone? I know it's tough. Believe me, it's tough for me too to not fully know what will happen. For those of you that are following me on my Telegram channel, you have seen that I have said that I'm not allowed to say certain things. And that's true. But it is also on the level that I am not also let known everything. Not everything is told to me. So I'm going through this with you. Remember that. And I have some knowledge, I have some understandings, and something happened to me today, and I think this experience would be a good opportunity to see how this whole, what is really going on here. It will be a pretty long line of thought, and there will be some hard truth that will upset some people, but this is the truth, and you are strong to handle the truth now. You have been through this 3 years of controls and systems, and you managed these 3 years. We need to be strong where we are going, but where we are going is beautiful. I have written down this because it was a lot of things to think about. So the headline here is how a magic attack looks like in the dream state. So I experienced this last night, and I'm going to read to you what I have been thinking and that I want to share with you, and take it from there. How a magic attack looks like in dream state. I want to share some of the things I experience as we are getting closer to something very special. Something very special happening. Some of the things I'm allowed to tell you at this moment. Do you remember the Lyran woman when she said there will be no war? There will be no World War III. There will be no famine. Instead, something very special will happen. Don't forget that. I woke up today in the middle of the night, and when I went back to sleep, I was attacked from the fourth dimension with visions. I ignored them and went back to sleep, as their attacks has lost their strength and can't reach me with the same force any longer. I had conflicting telepathic communication yesterday and had listened in a bit too long. I could see that we were being interrupted by the negative entities from the fourth dimension. The dimension above us, around us, and nearest to us. That's why you can't just raise your frequency and reach the dimensions above the fourth, just like that. The negative entities from the fourth dimension has been sending me words the last couple of days, starting with the letter T. trying to get me to repeat the words, thus repeating the letter T repeatedly, to pinpoint me in time and space, in order to attack me. You can see my video series about channelings for deeper understanding about this. In short, while deciphering the conflicting communication, I had shared too much energy between me and the negative entities, leading to the subsequent visions. They can access you while you are in the dream state and affect your dreams. Their aim is to spellcast you, attaching negative energy to your spirit body to affect your emotions and thoughts. Once in an awakened state, with the aim for you to help continue the process by going down in a negative spiral of anger, hate, jealousy, or despair, for you to bring in even more of the dark energies. This is also why some drug addicts who by the use of drugs or psychedelika enter the astral world, the fourth dimension, usually enter a very negative spiral in life with dire consequences for them many times. This can eventually lead to a permanent possession if the negative entities find you to be useful. A permanent possession is when the entity attaches to your spirit body. You will often hear people saying that they sit on their shoulder and speak into one of their ears. This is what happened to me on my journey waking up to why I'm here, as they know why I'm here, the negative entities, that is. As I told you in one of my videos, the negative entities can't be removed. The negative entity can't be removed as it has fused on a part of your energy body. Once it attaches, it fuses to your spirit. No human forces can get rid of this. This will lead to a takeover of the physical body by the entity, and the soul that remains will be suppressed within the body. This happens to many people around the world leaders and people that have the possibility to affect a larger mass of people. It is part of the control structure exercised from the fourth dimension. We are in a reincarnation trap here on Earth. And this is confirmed by my family from Lara. Karma is probably part of it to make you feel you have something to learn or regret in your previous lives, so you'll decide to return to Earth and choose the false light when you are in between worlds after death. We are divine beings and we have the free will to return to God, which is the intended way of the creation. Our free will has been taken from us, and the majority of humankind can't see past the false light after death when they are between worlds, and keeps reincarnating in eternity, again and again and again and again. This is also one of the explanations why the majority refuses to wake up, despite being presented with evidence about the wrongdoings by the elite that owns all that we consume on this earth. This is also why the majority of humankind lacks discernment, and why it is so hard for them to stop listening to authorities or following and believing that a certain piece of information is true, because it has a large spread and is the talk of the tongues of many, or the ones conveying the information has a large following. This is also why the majority wants to lean on other people for comfort and to have others deciding what is right or wrong for them. If you think about it, and I have gotten this confirmed from Lyra, that we are being reincarnated here. We are entrapped by the fourth dimension. So if you think about this, imagine the human that have lived thus far to this point of time, and not like my Lyran family and me that are from the future. Imagine that they have reincarnated and chosen this false light every time And every time they enter this place, they are presented with karma and all the wrongdoings they have done in their lives. Living on this planet, it will be almost impossible to not have a wrongdoing on your hand. So these people are conditioned, and these souls are conditioned. And as I have said before, the Lyrans and our galactic families, they are here to help us. They are here to set us free. And I'm from the future, reincarnated here, to help them anchor these energies into this time. I'm just like anyone else. I just passed through this false light, and I escaped this matrix. And I think that's why I'm back here. Because I can escape it again if it's necessary. This is tough information, but this is what this is all about. Okay, I will continue. Do not seek comfort from others, jumping on every news, bad or good. You will need to be strong and find your inner strength and inner light, your spirit. This is a spiritual war, and they who find the inner strength and can stand on their own will endure. That's all I can say. This is also not the time to analyze every minute feeling or sensation and focus purely on oneself, but to focus on the greater perspective, which is humanity's transition. Focusing purely on oneself and asking for answers to every minute question about oneself will not make you strong when it's needed, but shatter your being. It's time to focus and find your own inner strength. It's really the time to focus now, my friends. Don't let you get distracted by all the things around you. No answers will be given at this time. The reason will be evident. Anyone telling you they have answers now don't understand what is taking place. When this very special thing happens, it will be evident why we didn't know. That's all I can say. And this is the way it has to happen. This is a war that is a very powerful war. This is not something that you can just rise your vibrations and think good thoughts and you will manage this. This is a war that is very old. And this is a war that once was lost. That's why we are here in the past, because this war was lost. And God has created this divine timeline for us now. We're safe. And I wasn't told about this. I wasn't told everything that I was supposed to do when I came here. I have just been told what I need to know when the time was right. So I had to go on faith. And during all of this time I had to speak with all these negative entities and try to discern what was right and wrong. And also humans that don't have discernment, that believes everything, and they get very emotional when they have been listening to this because they don't understand how powerful this power structure is on this earth, how old it is. And it will start to be evident when I read further here, and you will start to understand. So back to the dream I had last night. I was in New Zealand, having a bird's eye perspective over its landscape, seeing eucalyptus trees over endless hills and valleys. I found myself in a room, a kitchen, that had that Australian look to it, with several people. I felt like I don't remember why I'm here, so I found my way out. The house was a one-floor house, also having a typical architecture of and Australian houses. A person from the kitchen had followed me out, and there was a beautiful car representing material love for money and material things, which is part of the control structure to keep people from finding out their true nature and capabilities. The man with me said, "You built this. It's your car. You built it." I answered that I don't remember building it and that I forget things all the time now. I don't remember why I'm here either. It doesn't feel right. I sensed. I have to go back. I left the man and the beautiful car outside the house and went around the house to the backyard. It was surrounded by a high hedge. On the left was some sort of installation, a sand surrounded by a low threshold built by wood with a wooden roof covering it. A black woman with her hair out walked across the backyard over the stone slabs to the sand installation. The black woman was speaking to me and dancing, talking and calling for a deity, summoning it to appear, dancing in what I perceived to be an ancient Egyptic dance. Suddenly across the yard, on the right, dust and sand appeared and was forming into the deity she was calling to. I woke up at this point, and the black woman who had entered my dream was still present, and she was continuing to speak to me. I heard her very clear. And the last thing she said was, "Hathor is waiting for you. Hathor is waiting for you." For several days now, I'm getting threats from the controllers in the fourth dimension repeating, "They are waiting for you. They are waiting for you." This is an example on how the satanic Luciferian cabal and the secret societies here on Earth summon and work in conjunction with the demons from the fourth dimension. These demons, as I've said before, are in most cases reptilians, small beings looking very much like the gargoyles. I don't know if I say that right, it's a French word, gargoyles, that are found on medieval Gothic churches. Gargoyle. The Luciferian satanic cabal summon these entities through black magic and very specific rituals so they can enter our reality. So force from the human negative controllers are required to lock time and space and to bring them here so they can operate and perform an attack on the human that constitutes a risk to their system of control. The negative entities of the fourth dimension provide the satanic Luciferian black magic practitioners with a pure feeling of power, and as in my case, they usually burst out in ecstasy during the session. When they possessed me, when they had succeeded, they were talking in tongues, as they say, and some language I have never heard before. It was a very evil, dark language, chanting. And when they were done, and they had attached a reptilian to my right shoulder, they burst out in ecstasy and they were ecstatic. The feeling of power, strength or despair is the collected human energies produced on this earth that is focused and transferred to an individual or individuals. The satanic Luciferian cabal is very dependent on these energies and feeling and receive a false sense of power, which is in reality just an illusion, and it works like a drug to them. The human controllers are not in control, they are being used by the entities from the fourth dimension. When they don't need them anymore, they will be killed. They are only needed to exercise control in our 3D reality, control over us. So the control is exercised from the fourth dimension in real time. As I'm standing here, their control is, of course, not going so good. But if we back some month, so then you have to understand that the control will continue after death. When you leave death, you have to go through the fourth dimension. You have to pass through the fourth. So when you die, you go directly to them. That's why you can hear these very horror stories when people die, but you can also hear very beautiful stories, how people return and how they are born again and so on. So, with all likelihood, I have not been told this by the Lyrans, but I have been told that the fourth dimensional entities control us, and they are controlling this reality. And they're also controlling what we can manifest. I will go into that here, and I'll make a little sidestep because I hear about this all the time and I should say something about it. But for obvious reasons, their control did not stop just because you left this earth, because you have to go through their dimension. Don't forget that. The fourth dimension is very powerful. This is not just a matter of raising your frequencies and you will be in the fifth. If you can reach higher dimensions, it means that you have no interest, and what you're producing is not disturbing their control matrix. If you by somehow or some way have information, or your energy is such that you destroy or you constitute a risk to their control, they would do anything to stop you. And if you try to have any meditation or psychic contact or anything like that, they will attack you right away. So for people that say that they go up, most of them don't go anywhere. And if they go up, it means that what they produce is helping the control system. If they were producing something that would help us, they would be stopped, shut down, and they would be attacked. Okay, I will make a sidestep here. Manifestation. You know how everyone wants to manifest more money? We never have enough money, it seems. And that's because our reality is built on people not having and people having. And as long as we have the structure of people having and people not having, we will have a hierarchical power structure. And it doesn't matter if we remove the elite or the ones in power. There will always come a new elite and a new power, because the fourth dimension is still the same. The prison is still the same. And there will always be humans that have no spiritual guidance, no spiritual connection, that will choose money and power over everything. And then they will try to choose eternal life, like, for example, through transhumanism. And this is what the elite are doing now. They're trying to choose eternal life through false light and transferring their consciousness in an unbiological way. You are allowed to manifest certain things. Manifestations works. If you are a person that works in their interest, spread false information, spreads conflicting information, helps to bring more chaos into this world. If you're such a person, you will not be stopped. If you're a person that is only focused on money all the time, that's the only thing you want in your life. That's the only thing you think about, because money and the money system is the ultimate system of control here. It's the physical construct of the control. Because without it, you can't function. And the ones in power, under the fourth dimension, the humans, they have the money. So you always hear about this manifest money, and you have to feel how much you can manifest and so on. Because you are allowed to manifest money. You are allowed to become rich as long as you do not constitute a threat to them in any other way. If you just want to have money. And especially if you're very, very deeply infatuated into the material realms. That the only thing that you love, the only thing that you appreciate are material things. But if you try to manifest freedom, if you're trying to manifest justice, if you are trying to manifest the truth, to have your word spread, you will not be successful with your manifestation. Because they control what can be manifested in this earth. That's why people say that they're not spiritually inclined. They say that, but this is how the world works. As long as everything is allowed and there is no law against it, that's just human nature. Wrong. It is not human nature. It's the nature we are allowed to create. Because if we try to create any other nature, we will not be allowed to create it. We will not be allowed to manifest it. I will say this. Whatever happens, this special thing, whatever happens, everyone have to be prepared to leave all their material things. The material is an illusion. The material is just atoms. And the material realm is not as firm or stable as people might think. That's why the people in control that understand magic, they can change the material world. And for a person that are not connected spiritually in any way, he will just see a door as a door, a tree as a tree. And this world will never open to him. But in reality, it's all around him. And as soon as your consciousness is high enough, you will start to perceive these things. And more of us are going to perceive these things. And more of us are going to get psychic abilities. There is nothing special with me. I am like you. I am spirit, soul first. Everything else is second. Everything what I am in my conscious and my being is my spirit. We are all the same. But in this duality, we don't see each other, and it's hard to see everyone as the same. But remember that we will have to be able to leave all material things. I'm very sure of it. It doesn't mean that when we are on the other side of all of this, in the new beautiful world that awaits us, in a high dimension above the controllers, that we will not have all that we will. We will have all that we will. Yeah? Maybe we will not want to have all of the same things, because we will finally be free to choose for ourselves. And remember, we are on a divine timeline created by God. We are safe, we are protected, and we are not alone. We are definitely not alone. The future is bright and full of love. The new world awaits us. Have hope, my friends. How dark it gets to this last time now, just know it's just a instant of a second, of a microsecond in your whole life, of this life. It's not going to be long. Okay, we go back to my dream here. So who was Hathor, the deity the satanic Luciferian cabal summoned to attack me? And Hathor, if I don't pronounce it correctly, is H-A-T-H-O-R, Hathor. This is what is said about her, and she's an Egyptian deity. She was the mother of the sky god Horus and the sun god Ra, both of whom were connected with kingship, and thus she was the symbolic mother of their earthly representatives, the pharaohs. Have you listened to what I said just recently? She was the symbolic mother of their earthly representatives, the pharaohs. That's the Cabal, my friends. She was one of the goddesses who acted as the eye of Ra, the all-seeing eye we see on so many New Age sites. I wonder why. I'm being ironic here. Hathor crossed boundaries between worlds, helping deceased souls in the transition to the afterlife. Remember what I said about the reincarnation trap. In the funerary text known as the Book of the Heavenly Cow, Ra sends Hathor as the Eye of Ra to punish humans for plotting rebellion against his rule. She becomes the lioness goddess Sekhmet and massacre the rebellious humans, but Ra decides to prevent her from killing all of humanity. Egyptologists believe that the reason for all her different forms, she emerged in many different forms in Egyptology, is due to her being promoted by the old kingdom court, who summoned many local goddesses worshipped by the general populace at the time, who were then treated as manifestations of Hathor. Egyptian texts often speak of the manifestations of the goddess as 7 Hathors, or less commonly of many more Hathors, as many as 362. After the end of the New Kingdom, Hathor was increasingly overshadowed by Isis, but she continued to be venerated until the extinction of the ancient Egyptian religion in the early centuries AD. These rituals and summoning of demons are what the Cabal has done since known history. It's the same processes and the same negative entities being called upon, most likely reptilians, to deliver power, might and control from the 4th dimension. This is the worship of the false light, the worship of the material realm. It's the worship of the satanic Luciferian Cabal, a worship based on Isis, the all-seeing eye, and moon worship. If you are on New Age sites, I'm saying this because I'm not connected to New Age. I'm telling the truth. I'm coming from a true experience. And when people wake up, they are served in New Age, where they do no harm. When you see a lot of moon worship or all-seeing eyes on your New Age site, you should really think a bit. It's not a coincidence that you're seeing that. We don't need to go deeper into this, but it is now easy to see how deep this worship is, how old it is, how hidden it is to the overall population, and how large the spread is of these images and idols. Take a closer look at the New Age sites you follow. These are not innocent energies. They have aim and meaning, and we must learn to see them to be set free. That's how it is. We will not be set free until we learn to decipher and discern all of this. That's why we are here. That's why we are under the control of the fourth dimension, because the majority of humanity, the greater majority of humanity, cannot discern this. They are so occupied in comfort, trust, and reassurance that they just want to believe everything because the truth is very tough. But when the truth is tough, remember that we are eternal, we are divine. The soul cannot be killed. Nothing can hurt us. And when we realize that, that's when we are the real power. That's when we will break free. I just want to say for reference that the Egyptian lion goddess Sekhmet has no connection to the lion beings from Lyra. They are not the same thing. Just so someone don't confuse this. The human satanic Luciferian cabal are no longer a danger to me, personally. And they have become powerless over me. I'm free. I'll meet the entities when we pass through the fourth dimension. That is what I believe, but I'm not told how it will be by my Lyran family, as I'm not allowed to know yet. And I think everyone should be prepared for this. In fact, I'm pretty sure of it. Okay, everyone, that was the last thing I had written. It's a gorgeous evening. Sun is shining. Life is good. Life is beautiful. The summer awaits us. Don't worry about the entities in the fourth dimension. As long as you do the work to find and discern what is the truth, and don't swallow anything you just see, you will be prepared and you will be able to set yourself free. Life is beautiful. Life is for us. And we're going to have a beautiful future. We're going to have a beautiful life. This microsecond of evil that we have to endure, it will be something we can talk about when it's over. Remember that God is here. We are protected. Remember the beauty of being here in this material existence, when the sun rays gaze upon your face. Remember all the beauty of nature and all the animals and everything God created. And never forget, you are not alone. But this is the time where you need to find your inner strength. This is the time where you need to understand that there will not be answers. This is the time when you have to have the strength and you have to find it within yourself. You wait for a plane to pass us. It's pretty loud. You cannot lean on other people. You cannot find comfort in other people. You have to find comfort in your own spirit and your own connection with Source, if you like that expression. I don't think it's long left. don't think it's long left at all. And I want everyone to be strong and understand that the power you have within you. When you stop listening to everyone and everything, and when you start listening to yourself. When you start listening to yourself, there's nothing you won't manage to do. This is the time to take off all the clutter. This is the time to listen to yourself. This is the time to know that you will make it, that you are strong. This is the time to know that a beautiful world awaits us soon. We are going to be all right. We are going to be okay. I wasn't sure I wanted to end with something, but maybe I should do this here anyway. I haven't been in the chat lately because I don't know how to put this in a nice way. Because my aim from the beginning, and I have met people, many good people, was to talk as equals. But I have noticed that even though I have a very small following, that when I speak in the chat, there are people that want to be close to me. Like there's a hierarchical structure. And the one closest knows most is most important. So this is not my intention. I want everyone to understand that we are equals. And in the eye of God, we are all equals. We truly are equals. There is no hierarchy here. There is no leader. There is no authority. So, and I've seen that most people that have chat groups, if they have channels and so on, and I'm not a commercial person or someone that I'm doing this because I want to help humanity. So they are not in their own chats, and I can see why. And I will not be in the chat for some time. I just want to say that. And to all the lovely people I have met in the chat, you have really given me so much good information, so good thoughts, and love, and many good ideas. And I'm really thankful. And I'm so thankful that you found me, and that you came to my Telegram channel and to my chat, and that we could discuss. But for the time being, I will not be in the chat. And maybe in the future, when things change, I will pop in again. I just wanted to say that. And be careful if someone says that they know everything now, or know exactly what is happening. There is no one that knows exactly what is happening, including me. And you will not find one that will know exactly what is happening, because this very special event, when that has happened, it will be clear what we didn't know. That's all I can say. So anyone that says that they know exactly what is happening and they have these fantastic things that they can provide for you, they don't know what is happening. This is time to focus. This is time to relax. We got this far, and we have done pretty well, all of us. We should be happy with what we have accomplished. Okay, my friends, it's getting pretty long here, so I think I will end here. So I just want to say this: I love you all. Thank you for being here. May God protect all of us, and may God protect all of us who fight against this evil. May He bring us blessings and fortune and love in all that we undertake. With that being said, my friends, another time.